I can't believe the time has gone so quickly. 011-30702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702, the upside of failure with Clement Maosa.
Thank you.
Maosa.
Thank you. I feel respected.
You are respected, Chief. You lost your parents within the space of a month, which is just so wild to me. How have you been dealing with that loss? And I think it also helps explain why you guys are so close, because sometimes those things can break a family apart, but other times they can bring them together, and I can only imagine how proud they are of you.
I don't think you no, Relebogile, I don't think you're fair, because how do we move from just having energy and now you just ask me this question? I don't know, man. It's always very uncomfortable for me to tap into that space, because I think the wound is still very fresh, I would say. But every time I look back without even getting into details, I find myself being grateful and appreciative of the opportunity to still be alive, because I know what it means to be alive. I've seen people who were alive and lights were switched off, at a very young age. I believe that my parents passed on at a very young age. But to be quite honest with you, when it happened, I was way too young, because I was 17 years old and I was doing my matric. Yeah, man, it was one of the hardest things that I had to go through, navigating life without these people that you've always seen as the pillar of your strength. And, I still expected a lot from them. But the other thing is, it happened at it wasn't like within a period of a month, but 3 months apart, right? So for me, I honestly can't tell you how I got out of that, because I was young, I was focused, and I tried to distract myself with school, because now imagine you're doing matric, and then when you're about to go into a new territory, varsity, something that you've always wanted to do to make them proud, the very same people that you want to make proud, they know more. But now you are in this new environment, you have to navigate it without any support from those two figures that you've always looked up to. And in a way, I felt like they're the one who channeled me to go to a university and get educated, and even the kind of career that I took, because I always wanted to be an actor. They're like, no, you're so smart, you can only be a doctor or a lawyer. Now, as I'm doing what they sort of like channeled me to do, now they know more. But back then, because I started grieving rather later on in life, when I started working even, because then there was just no time for me to process what was happening, and I really didn't understand what was going on. What was in my mind was that I just need to work hard and end poverty for me and for my siblings. So I think that's how I navigated that ordeal in my life. Like I'm saying, I don't want to talk about it a lot, because it just sort of like hit me every time I speak about it. It's like fresh, because even now when I go through a whole lot of challenges, they're the first people that I think about. Every win, they come in my mind. Everything that I do, I feel like it's more of a shadow that follows you, because you know that they are with you, or they're looking after you wherever they are, but you constantly, they never leave your mind. They never leave your mind. For me, even worse, I had to witness my mother every single day for a year in and out of hospital, health deteriorating every single day. And those flashbacks, they constantly come back, and I feel like she never deserved that. And it's a fear that I have, that even now when somebody's sick, automatically I fear the worst. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, yeah. I think let's just leave it there. Yeah.
Look, I think it's also important, as hard as it is, and my heart, man, my heart for you. There are people who are listening and can't even imagine life going on, but then they know, you went through something like that, and you became responsible for your siblings. You became an instant parent while you were a child yourself. Even though it was still such a tough thing, and I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so
Don't do that, Relebogile. You're making me very emotional right now. Really.
I am proud of you. There are young men and women that have not been able to do even a quarter of the things that you've done. And also for Mama and Papa are also madly proud of you. So I want to give you your flowers. And I'm not talking about the career and what's happening on TV, but what happens when you go home and what you do for those siblings of yours.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. I feel comforted, and I feel like, because sometimes when you go through things like this, and also being, whether a public figure or celebrity, you hardly, like, you feel like nobody cares you, whether the hard work that you're doing and just navigating this whole journey alone, because sometimes it really feels like you're just alone. There's no plan B. There's no, I'm going to go back to my dad, or I can call my dad and ask this advice, or I can call my mom. It's just you versus ascendant, and you want to make them happy. And at the same time, you start your own family, and it's not easy also, because now you overcompensate. You want to be the best parent, the present parent, and because you never had that in your life. So it's just, yeah, man, it's just...
Before I get in very big trouble with EW, and apologies in advance, one sentence, what have you learned about failure?
Failure is not final. Failure is an opportunity for one to succeed, because we can never really say we are successful if we never failed in our life. So when you fail, the more you fail, the more reasons for you to be successful, because if you fail and you give up, then it's the end of you. But if you fail and you challenge yourself to pass through that obstacle, then you will always know that there's something better